Jamaica's Vision 2030 is a 21-year national development plan. From 2009 to 2030, Jamaica has been working on becoming the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. We hope to transition from a developing country to a developed country by 2030. And so the focus of the Vision 2030 plan is not only on sustainable development, but also inclusive development based on 4 goals and 15 national outcomes. But this being 2022 means that 2030 is only 8 years away. So are we really on track to make this happen? In today's video, we are going to be discussing the goals and outcomes of Jamaica's Vision 2030 plan and how close we are to completing them within 8 years by having a look at the December 2021 Vision 2030 report. So if you like these types of videos, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. I would like to start by defining what a developed country is. According to worldatlas.com, a developed country is a sovereign state with high industrial and human development index compared to other countries. It must also have a technologically advanced infrastructure and its economy must be highly developed. It is also referred to as an industrialized country or more developed country. The idea for this Vision 2030 plan started long before 2009. According to this article, preparation of the draft plan started in January 2007. So, what exactly are they hoping to achieve by 2030? There are 4 goals, and under each goal, there are outcomes. And according to the Vision 2030 website, the expected results of these goals and outcomes are a vibrant and internationally competitive economy, a secure and cohesive society, a healthy natural environment, a high level of human capital, and greater opportunities for social and economic mobility and prosperity. Now, they publish updates on Jamaica's development results quite frequently. Did you know that? And have you seen any of them? They can be accessed on the internet quite easily through a Google search. I'm going to be sharing with you a synopsis of the December 2021 update, which is of course the most recent. You can have a look at the full document after watching this video. According to the report, based on the National Outcome Indicator and Target Framework, the country's development performance has been mixed. Development gains were made under all 4 goals, evidenced by the achievement of some 2018 targets and improvement in some indicators that fell short of targets. Where 2019 and 2020 data are available, some indicators showed progress towards achieving 2021 targets. There were also development losses, with some indicators showing slippages or no change from the baseline 2007. They pointed out that data for 2020 was not available at the time of the report for several of the indicators. This is Jamaica's development results for the period 2009 to 2021. Let's look at the development results based on each goal. The first being, Jamaicans are empowered to achieve their fullest potential. The outcomes under this goal are a healthy and stable population, world-class education and training, effective social protection, and authentic and transformational culture. Here are the highlights. Number 1. Apparently, one of the targets for Vision 2030 is to have a 0% population growth. Jamaica reached this target in 2017, mostly because of people migrating out of the country. This 0% growth rate was maintained from 2018 to 2020. Before I move on, let me make it clear that I'm very disturbed by the fact that one of the targets for 2030 is 0% growth rate. I don't want to get into it in this video because that's not what this video is about. I'll probably speak about it in another video. Moving on. I would assume that this is in relation to the outcome, a healthy and stable population. Number 2, in the year 2018, the country recorded a 12.6% poverty rate, which is actually the lowest since 2008. Now, this is the 2021 report, so I kind of expected something more recent here, but the 2020 issue that they mentioned before may be holding up some of the data. They did, however, say that performance is trending towards the 2021 targets. But nevertheless, I went to Google to see if I could find something more recent. In this June 30, 2021 Loop article, it was reported that poverty rate went down to 11%, which is the second lowest on record, says Clark. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark made the announcement on Tuesday during a statement in the House of Representatives. All right, so that is like more recent. Perfect. Number 3, the total life expectancy for the country is high, but this is mainly because the life expectancy for females is increasing, while for males it is lower than the 2007 baseline, according to the report. The fourth main highlight is Jamaica continued to rank among countries in the second tier of high human development category on the Human Development Index. Now, what is this? According to Wikipedia, the Human Development Index, HDI, is a statistic composite index of life expectancy, education, mean years of schooling completed and expected years of schooling upon entering the education system, and per capita income indicators, which are used to rank countries into 4 tiers of human development. In 2017 and 2018, Jamaica had a HDI value of 0.734, which happened to be the highest since 1990. We maintained this HDI in 2019, so that is good. Now, the next goal is Jamaican society is secure, cohesive, and just. The national outcomes under this goal are security and safety and effective governance. So only 2. Now, these are the main highlights for the period 2009 to 2021. Number 1, in reference to the outcome security and safety, these are the results. There has been a decrease in the rate of major crimes from 208.6 per 100,000 in 2019 to 206.5 in 2020. These were the lowest for the period, especially when compared to the 280 per 100,000 in 2007, which is the baseline year. However, the murder rate increased to 48.52 per 100,000 in 2020 from 45.88. Even so, this was still lower than the 59.5 that was recorded in 2007, which, as I said before, is the baseline year. Though this is not the lowest, as the lowest is actually 36.9, which was recorded in 2014. The second highlight for this period is effective governance. In 2018, the target that was set for Government Effectiveness Index was reached. Does this mean that it was not reached for 2021, or was this one of the indicators for which the missing 2020 data affected? Because they didn't mention anything about 2020, 2019, or 2021. Number 3, the target rate for case clearance in 2021 is 95, and we have exceeded that, achieving 101.6 in 2019 and 96.5 in 2020. They did not mention the rate for 2021. Moving on to our third goal, which is Jamaica's economy is prosperous. And under this goal, we have all of 6 outcomes: a stable macroeconomy, an enabling business environment, strong economic infrastructure, energy security and efficiency, a technology-enabled society, and internationally competitive industry structures. These are the main highlights for the period 2009 to 2021. Number 1, The country's public debt for financial year 2018, 2019, and financial year 2019, 2020 actually fell below 100 of our GDP. In this JS article, public debt has remained flat despite impact of COVID-19. It was reported that Jamaica's public debt has remained flat over the past year despite the major fall in government revenue and increase in expenditure as a result of the coronavirus. Now, this was disclosed by Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, while making his contribution to the 2021-2022 budget debate in the House of Representatives on Thursday, March 18. The next highlight is in 2016, Jamaica recorded a 1.7% inflation rate, which was the lowest in 45 years. I was curious as to where the inflation rate was at the end of 2021. It was unfortunately not shared in the report, so I did some additional research. According to this JS article published in January 2022, Ms. Coy, Director General of Statin, told journalists that the point-to-point inflation rate between December 2020 and December 2021 was 7.3%. This, she explained, was influenced by increases for housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels up 11.7%, food and non-alcoholic beverages up 4.9%, and transport up 13.9%. Another main highlight for the period in relation to this goal is that in 2019, we achieved the highest average employment of 1,244,925 since 1968, with the employment rate at 7.7 on average. We also met the target set for the number of scientific publications in 2018. And unfortunately, we did not meet the targeted rates for economic growth. The level of industry competitiveness was lower than target. And they posit that this may be because of the 2020 world crisis. Our fourth goal is Jamaica has a healthy natural environment, and the outcomes under this goal are sustainable management and use of environmental natural resources, hazard risk reduction and adaptation to climate change, and sustainable urban and rural development. We did not meet our local sustainable development plans, and we performed below our targeted environmental performance index, which is basically a way of measuring our environmental health. The lowest score was recorded in 2020. Also, the rate of poverty in rural areas is not good. And according to the report, the target for hazard damage as a percentage of GDP was achieved. I would like you to tell me what you think about our gains and the challenges that we are facing. Do you believe that we will be able to reach our targets by 2030? Now, how is Jamaica's Vision 2030 plan linked to the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development? In 2015, the United Nations adopted a 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In this plan, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, that the 193 member states of the UN have incorporated into their own development plan, described as ambitious. So here's a list of the goals: no poverty, no hunger, good health, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitization, clean energy, good jobs and economic growth, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption, protect the planet, life below water, I'm not sure what that means, life on land, peace and justice, and partnership for the goals. So they are expecting universal peace, eradication of poverty, and equity and inclusion for all. To me, all of these are outcomes that any well-thinking person would welcome. Though some seem kind of pie in the sky and unrealistic, especially in the time frame they are thinking about. What do you guys think? Do you think that we can accomplish all of these ever, much less within 8 years? Let me know what you think below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share before you go. Thanks for watching.